Okay, today for 1, 2, 3 draw, the students have challenged me to draw a Lamborghini, which is no easy task in 5 minutes, so I will do the best I can to make this as good as possible. So first of all, the view that I'm looking at kind of shows the front of the car and the side at the same time, so it's not going to be straight across. There's going to be a slight angle here, and we're going to place the tires on first so that we have an idea. And I'm just kind of scribbling those on. And the tires kind of go into the car. So I'm trying to decide on how far I want the tires to be apart. So I am going to think about this as though there were 3 tires in between. So if this is one tire, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to put the next tire. And the tire is going to go in between this line so that it only pokes out a little bit. So that's a good spot. So do you see what I'm saying? There's 1, 2, 3 spaces to make the distance between the 2 tires. So now we know where the 2 tires go, and we're going to start working on the front of the car. So the front of the car kind of goes around. So I'm going to go around like this and into there. Then the top of it here is like the front bumper or the light of the car goes there. And then there's another light on this side. So it's not very close to the wheel. We're going to move it up a little. So this light on this side, we're only going to see it touch the edge. But this light over here is going to kind of hover down above the tire. And then there are 2 lines that go down right here. 1, 2, and then we'll bring this line across right up to the tire. So now we've got the front of the car, but the bumper doesn't look quite right. So we're going to make some changes here. So we're going to bring this line around and bring this one back, follow the front line, curve a little, and then it's going to curve under and it's going to repeat. And then a really thin piece here, so we're not adding too much to it. And then there's a half moon shape right there. And then there's the emblem on the car. It's kind of triangular, but it curves around. And I guess if you want to put more detail, you have to look up what that looks like. All right, so we've got the front of the car ready, and we need to start putting the windshield on. So the windshield is going to go right above the tire. So we're going to come up to about here, and we're going to curve around like this. This part here is going to go a little bit more straight because of the angle that we're on. So it looks larger, but it looks kind of even in this area. So I'm going to bring this one down and around. Now, this has to connect, and we need the rim of the car here. So we're going to add a second line so it looks like this part is the windshield and this part is part of the car. And then we're going to curve around to the back of the car. Now, different types of cars have like different lengths of the front part. And right now I kind of feel like my front part looks a little short. So drawing cars is something that's very precise, and you've got to really study your subject to get it just right. So 5 minutes is hard to draw something so difficult as a Lamborghini, but we're going to make it look as good as we can. Now for over here, we're going to make the top of the window and the bottom of the window kind of go along with the side of the car. So this one's going to go back and then curve around. The students did ask me to draw this with the doors up, but I don't feel like we have enough time to do that. And I feel like you need to know how the body goes before you can add doors that are up in the air. So if you wanted to put the doors up in the air, you could do that after. All right, so we've got this line that goes from the front of the window all the way to the back of the car and behind the wheel, but not a lot. So this is going to slant up, and this will curve around. And it's got that nice, sleek, aerodynamic body. Now we're going to bring this around, and we'll just kind of create like the top of the wheel cage over there. And now we're going to put the fin on the car. So it's going to have 2 lines there and there. And then we'll double them, and then we'll go diagonal to attach them, and curve around and repeat on a diagonal. And it should definitely not be bigger in the back than the front. It should be thinner. So I'm going to bring that around and fix that. And I'm going to finish up this window. It has a bar that goes across there. And then we'll go to the door. So right above this corner of the window, we're going to drop down and we're going to create another line that goes all the way back to the wheel. And then there's a line that goes from right under the window. Well, we could put the light or the mirror on the car, so we'll make this little oval shape like that. And then right underneath of it is that line I was talking about that goes straight back. And then it's like a letter V that curves under and goes to the edge. And there's a second one inside, right there. And then we've got some kind of vent right here. And there's 4 of them. And they're even. And then we've got the top of the roof here that we're going to bring out there. And the other part of the window we're going to bring out back to there. And we never finished the top of the windshield, so we bring that windshield over. And let's go back to the tires now. So now we've got like the shape of the body and we're ready to go with the tires. So let's start with some darkness on the edge and make it nice and round. And I feel like there could be a lot of room for improvement on this drawing. So taking your time on a picture is something that, you know, I always say you have to do. But when you're putting me on the spot with these student challenge teacher, I feel like I'm not exactly happy with my picture, but it's okay. Right? All right, so I'm putting the bottom of the tire here, and then I'm going to make some of the outside edge. All right, so we've got a lot of lead on the paper now, and I don't want to erase that, so I'm going to take my blender instead, and I'm going to shadow that like that. And I could also, while I'm here, shadow here, put some shadow under the car, put some shadow in the windshield. Like, I would really think that should get a lot of shadow there. And spread that in. Use your finger if you can, if you have to. And then maybe some shadow on the windshield there to kind of make it look like it's 3D. And now this part here is, I made it very star-ish. So now it's not going to be a star, so I'm going to square it out a little. And I'll go back to blending that. And now I got to make another tire over here, and look, it's got to look the same. So I'll put a circle in the center. And then I'm going to make my star. It's a 5-point. And then I'm going to shadow around just like I did the other one. Get the blender out. And my 5-minute Lamborghini sketch is done. So, drawing cars, like I said, is a challenge, but it's not so hard if you just break it down into steps. Best wishes.